Hi, I'm Dennis Barnard, one of the partners and owners of Freedom Marine. Today, I'm on board the 465 Riviera as one of the new Riviera dealers for Canadian market. And with me, I have Greg Andrew, our Riviera expert. I'm very happy to have him on board. Today, we're going to show you some of the features that we like about the boat. Greg's the expert. He's seen all the models, been through them years over years. Before we get into showing you all the features and benefits, make sure you subscribe and like us. Follow us on all our channels. Greg, looking forward to chatting with you.
Thanks for having me on board. We're just about to go through the 465 SUV, and what's the expression that you always use?
Shake and bake.
It's the hook.
It is. It's got to do it. One of the things I found about this boat, having had boats that were similar with Riviera in the big open cockpit, they've changed to this alfresco lower cockpit style. What do you think of this?
I think it's fantastic, particularly for our region as well as in warmer climates. You have a functional deck. The SUV stands for Sport Utility Vessel in Riviera's terms. It really enhances the boating experience in the Pacific Northwest to have the indoor-outdoor alfresco mezzanine space, but a functional working deck when you want to fish or do any other water sports.
Having been on a boat like this before and used it, one of the things I'm really appreciating is the integration where they've moved things like the barbecue, like a full depth freezer. And then of course, the thing every boat needs, the ice maker.
Yep.
It's fantastic to have these back here, not messing up the entertainment area, but easily accessible.
Absolutely.
One thing I've really noticed with the Riviera is just the brand quality. The fit and finish of the vessel is incredible. And you always tell when you're looking at a boat and how you enter and exit. And with this boat, just to be able, like the quality of the locks to keep the doors put away, It's awesome. So Greg, why don't you tell me a little bit about this? I've never had a platform like this before. It seems like just the most perfect thing to have on this boat. So I can swim or put my dinghy up, but maybe you can tell me a little more about it.
Yeah, it's the optional hydraulic swim platform. So you can float on and float off your tender. It will accommodate a tender up to 11 to 12 feet with a 30 horse outboard. So good sized tender to go cruising with. And in adverse sea conditions, you can raise the platform even above the neutral position so that you're not going to get caught up in following seas.
Okay.
But also use it as a deck to hang out at anchor, lower it down into the water and sit in the water if you like. The staples are a great feature as well because you can remove them out of place when you're launching your tender.
Yeah.
And they all stow neatly just forward of the platform here. So if you're using it for a fishing platform, you've got safety all around, but boarding, getting on and off the boat from the side deck, you've got something to grab onto, and it's super high quality, high polished stainless steel. Just really happy with it.
So Greg, one of the features I'm most excited about on the 465 and in the SUV lineup is this alfresco area, because before this used to be an open cockpit, and now we have this little dinette lounging area. I need you to show me all about it.
Sure. So for evenings when it's a little bit cooler, you can sit here and the aircon or heat will flow out onto this deck and keep it comfortable. This is where you're probably going to spend a lot of your time on the water at anchor and at the dock. You can be dining out here with the table on the port side. It expands out to dine four comfortably.
Now I've noticed you've also got switches. Like, do these port hatches open?
They do.
That's fantastic.
So now you can get even more air here when you like and sit here at night and look up at the stars.
Absolutely. I've also noticed we've got features like cockpit lights. We've got our stereo, because it's always important to run our stereo back here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This just seems like the perfect place to lounge, have a beverage at the end of the day, but also be separate from all the toys that may come up or the fishing gear or, if the kids are up. This just seems like a fantastic adult area.
It really is. And I feel it enhances the cruisability of this boat.
Fantastic.
As well as it even adds additional berths if you've got a big family and need extra place to sleep. That one you're on pulls out and makes into a sunpad lounge or a berth if need be.
So that just flips over nice and easily. Now, is it true that there's also an optional freezer or fridge underneath or cold storage?
Yes, there is. Yeah, the DC powered cool box here that you can thermostatically control to refrigerate or freeze.
Okay. So you got more storage.
Yep, for longer trips.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm liking that we've got great isinglass. It can roll up, it can come off. We've got our awning for the Pacific Northwest when it's raining. This is always my favorite feature on the Rivieras, you know, being able to talk through to the galley, open it up, make it nice and open and fresh.
Yep.
Now, why don't you take me in? Show me some of the great features of this.
All right. So immediately to your port, you have the bar for storage for your bottles, glassware that comes with the Galloware package. Our fridge. This interior timber is the high gloss walnut, which is a very elegant finish, I believe, for the SUV.
We've got a large enough fridge freezer, lots of storage space. You know, we've got plenty of underneath storage for all of our provisioning. I especially like, you know, how Riviera does it with all the stemware, proper dishes, matching. Everything has a place and a function.
Yep.
It's just that quality that you don't see in a lot of manufacturers. I was at the factory in March and I got to see the vessel before it arrived. In doing so, I met Rodney, the owner of Riviera, and he was a carpenter by trade, became a builder, and eventually he's a boat lover. So he bought the Riviera brand. And one thing I've really noticed when speaking with Rodney and then being on our boat is that what he believes in quality and how he's fit and finished things has really come through on the next generation of Rivieras. You know, looking at the thickness of a table, looking at how they've finished it, I can tell that he's an owner of the company and it's what he believes has got right into his boats. You know, I've driven the boat. One thing I enjoyed, and we can't really demonstrate it right now, but it's dead quiet. When you close the windows, and you're at the helm and you're doing 23, 24 knots, you can have a conversation just like this. It's fantastic how quiet it is. Now, the other thing I noticed is, how is the seating position for you? I know what it was for me. What are your thoughts?
You have a very elevated helm position on the SUV and you're forward on deck. So the sight lines are incredible looking forward, but also 360. There is very limited blind spots when you're looking all around.
One of the things I do appreciate about the vessel, you know, when we're underway, like having this awesome sunroof, you know, being able to open it right up. It's not canvas, it's full glass. You know, on a day like today in Vancouver, when, you know, it's better than Miami. And now we're going to be here in the winter. If it's too much, close it up. Don't worry about the rain. Like, awesome, awesome feature.
As well as the opening side windows is a really nice feature in this cabin. You know,
Yeah.
You've got cross-flow ventilation, and you can speak to people on deck. If you're at the helm and someone's on the bow, you can communicate easily.
I've never had a boat with a joystick, and operating the boat was a little nervous my first time, but after that, I don't know how I did it, but docked without it. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about it?
Volapenta IPS propulsion with joystick. You can control this boat effortlessly and confidently with your fingers.
Got it. And, you know, I see that there's like a docking button and a diagonal button. What are some of those?
So the docking is your low-speed joystick control.
Okay.
And the DPS button is a dynamic positioning system that will enable the boat to be held in one position while you get away from the helm and go put out lines and fenders while waiting to come into a dock. And it will just, again, add to the enhancement of managing and controlling your boat.
I know a lot of people are really nervous about docking, and that holds them back from either boating or really causing a lot of marital problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want the t-shirt that says, "I'm sorry for what I said while we were docking," but hopefully this joystick and Volvo has solved a bit of that.
Definitely mitigated that problem.
So with it being a joystick, is this a pod or a shaft-driven boat?
This is a twin IPS pod drive boat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, I know that there's a difference between the two, but I think one of the biggest advantages I heard you say with pods is really the fuel economy. And what is this boat normally operate at as far as speeds and comfort?
It's extremely fuel efficient, 30% greater than a shaft boat of similar size. Yeah, the fuel performance curve is, once it's on plane, pretty much a horizontal line.
Okay.
It's just a matter of adjusting your speed to your conditions and your comfort with the sight lines and what you can see on the water. 24 knots is a very comfortable speed with a top of 32 knots.
Okay. Being that this is a 2024, and I know Riviera is inclusive of having an operating system called C-Zone. It took me about 5 seconds to learn it because I found that it's almost intuitive like my Apple. What exactly is C-Zone so that everybody else can learn from you on it?
Yeah, so C-Zone digital switching manages and controls all of the electrical systems on board, be it DC or AC.
Okay.
And they also have an option to interface an iPad with the C-Zone system so that wherever you happen to be sitting, you can have the same control and functions on your iPad screen that you have on the C-Zone display.
That's
which
nice.
is at the helm and just over the galley.
We just need to integrate Siri so I can go, hey Siri, turn the boat on.
Absolutely. That's next.
Why don't you take us through and maybe you could show me a few things that I didn't know, and let's see what the layout looks like.
Sure. Yeah, come on downstairs. Moving forward, you have the owner's cabin with queen side island bed. Abundant drawer storage below the head of the bed, the foot of the bed on both sides. And on the port side, full height cedar lined locker. Overhead storage cupboards that run the full length of the cabin on both sides. And nice big bright hull windows on either side with blinds that pull down for privacy. And 2 overhead hatches with a screen and a blind. Flat screen TV and entertainment system. And ensuite head, really spacious, good full-size shower stall. Overhead hatch with blind and screen here, as well as medicine cabinet. Riviera bathware that comes with the boat. Going aft port, this has a very comfortable VIP double bed stateroom with an ensuite full-size head as well. Night table, hanging locker, and the ensuite access here. Equipped with a full-size shower stall. And this head also serves as a day head from the main companionway. This is a very generous guest cabin, twin berth instead of bunks. If it's for kids or another couple that are coming for the weekend, you're not embarrassed to have them sleep in cramped space.
You know, I like that it also can have the optional washer dryer.
Correct.
Now, I know we didn't put it in on this vessel because we wanted more storage space.
Riviera offers that as an option, and we chose to have the additional storage, but it's available if they want.
You know, when we ordered this boat, Riviera has a custom interior designer. Her name's Sarah, and she spent about 3 hours with my wife going through it. Yep. And I'm so glad she did, because the materials and the finishing and the design,
everything flows.
It does. And it's just something that you and I, we're not those guys.
No.
So thank you to Sarah for helping us make the boat look spectacular and finishing it the right way. I truly love this boat, and I know it's going to be happy for all the other guys. Any last thoughts before we ask everybody to like or follow us again?
I'm truly as excited about this boat as you are. I think it's a home run. This boat that Riviera designed is going to be the sweet spot size for our region in the Pacific Northwest for all kinds of boaters, whether Riviera existing customers or new boat owners.
And you know what? Thanks again. That's it for our video. Please make sure you subscribe and like us, and feel free to come down and say hello to us in Cole Harbour or in Sydney, and we'll be happy to show you the boat.